We all manage stress differently because our nervous systems are wired by our experiences in unique ways. In our nervous systems, we each have a comfort zone where we feel at our personal best. This comfort zone is called our window of tolerance.
When we are comfortably inside our window of tolerance, we are able to love others and let others love us. We're also able to be playful, to think clearly, to use words to express our feelings, to learn new things, to make choices and decisions, and to discover our inner creativity.
Here, in our window of tolerance, we feel anchored to ourselves, to others, and to the world around us. Here, we thrive.
In our window of tolerance, we also experience hurt, rejection, anger, or worry. And although this may take us right to the edge of our window, we are still able to manage these feelings.
When something happens that is too much for our unique nervous system to manage, we are pushed outside of our window of tolerance. We might swing up into hyperarousal or down into hypoarousal. Or we may swing between them.
Hyperarousal. When we are in hyperarousal, our body, heart and mind are getting ready to fight. Ready to escape and ready to freeze until the danger passes. These are ways that we try to survive something that feels deeply threatening and scary. On the inside, we can feel anxious, agitated, overwhelmed and frightened. Or sometimes we can feel terrified and angry, like we are going to explode. On the outside, we might appear aggressive, confrontational, controlling or rebellious. This is fight. We may appear anxious, obsessive or preoccupied. This is flight. Or we may even come across as extremely compliant and quiet, avoidant or scared to move a muscle. And this is freeze.
Our body changes. Our heart rate increases. We may get hot and sweaty. Our stomach may churn. Our skin may tingle or feel strange. We may breathe faster. And we may notice our muscles getting tense.
Hypoarousal. When we are in hypoarousal, our body, heart and mind put the brakes on. We slump into a deep collapse, sometimes called dissociation. This is another way that we try to survive something that feels deeply threatening. Often our nervous system falls into collapse when fight, flight and freeze haven't kept us feeling safe enough.
It might be a response to real danger that we can't escape right now. Or it might be a response to something that reminds us of danger we couldn't escape long ago. On the inside, we might feel foggy, dreamy, disconnected, empty, and numb. The world around us feels so far away. Here, in hypoarousal, nothing can hurt us because nothing can reach us. On the outside, we might appear zoned out. In a daydream, confused, distant, or even paralyzed. We may lose our words and our ability to move easily. We may have a sense of the world around us not being real or not feeling connected to it.
Our body changes, our heart rate decreases, we get cold, our focus narrows right down and we can't see or hear properly. We might feel distance from our body, like it's not connected to us.
Neuroscientists have shown us that we can be in hyperarousal and hypoarousal at the same time. For example, we might be agitated and restless, hyperaroused, whilst also feeling numb and empty of emotion, hypoaroused.
When we experience high levels of stress over a long period of time, especially when the stress is severe and unpredictable and happens when we are young, our nervous system changes. It becomes highly sensitive and we spend less and less time inside our window of tolerance.
Our brain and body becomes wired for danger and braced to self-protect at all times. This means that small everyday things that others might not even notice push us way out of our window of tolerance into fight, flight, freeze, or collapse survival states.
For people who have a sensitive stress response system like this, triggers that push us outside our window of tolerance can be as small as someone looking at us in a particular way, a planned activity being cancelled, moving from one place to the next, someone brushing past us, someone in authority saying no. Those of us who carry trauma in our bodies have a smaller than usual window where we feel safe, where we can think clearly and where we can love and be loved.
This, however, is a story of survival and of hope. When we support a person who is carrying trauma and stress, our goal is to help them swing back into their window of tolerance and feel safe again. Over time, we might also want to help them grow their window of tolerance so that they can cope with more and more without feeling overwhelmed.
We can support people who have a small window of tolerance by building a safe, sensitive, and thoughtful relationship with them, with lots of empathy and understanding.
Helping them to see that their thoughts and feelings are not dangerous to them or to others. Imagine that you are standing alongside them in their distress. As they see and feel your contagious calm, their nervous system will follow your lead.
Noticing triggers and creating an environment that feels as non-threatening as possible, so that they can slowly learn how it feels to be safe.
Bringing in playfulness, humour and pleasure. Authentic laughing, smiling and feeling of joy. Switch off the fight, flight, freeze and collapse survival state.
Our own window of tolerance. If we are outside of our own window of tolerance, we cannot help another person climb back into theirs. Take a moment to slow down and look inside. What helps you stay within your window of tolerance? Take care of your own unique nervous system first. Then you will be at your best to help others.
This is a story of survival and hope.